I'm here today to talk about the new Asian Hate Crimes Task Force. During the coronavirus pandemic starting in March, New York City experienced 21 anti-Asian hate crimes. Either verbal attack or physical assault, we saw a spike in every borough throughout the city. And even though our Hate Crimes Task Force was doing a good job investigating those incidents, we did notice there was a reluctance with several of our complainants to follow up with the active investigation. Deputy Inspector Stu Lowe came to me in May regarding putting a task force together of Asian investigators to assist with the issues we saw with our complainants, be it language barriers, cultural differences, or fear of the police. This task force would gain their cooperation through the investigation, the arrest, and prosecution process. This task force is led by the Deputy Inspector and consists of 25 Asian American investigators. We've had 21 anti-Asian hate crime incidents with a result of 17 arrests. 4 of the 17 were enhanced by the task force, as well as other incidents they have been proactive investigating. This task force has been built and will continue to build trust and understanding between the NYPD and the Asian New Yorkers.
And here in New York City, historically, Asian Americans has been targeted as crime victims at a disproportionate rate. And this past March, we noticed a very disturbing trend. Online, social media videos being posted of Asian Americans being verbally harassed, physically assaulted, with no provocation other than the reason of being Asian. This wasn't just a New York City phenomenon, it was worldwide. And this hit home for me because I have friends, families who are legitimately afraid to go outside because they fear for their safety. And putting this task force together is about addressing many concerns, not just the fear of being a crime victim, but more importantly, the fear that no one cares, that no one's doing anything about it, and that Asian Americans are not as important as other people. I'm here to say without question with this task force that we do care and that the NYPD is doing everything they can for the Asian American community in this regards. Yeah, victims tend to change their mind all the time. They'll come forward because they're pressured to by friends or family, or they wanted to in the beginning, but as time goes on, for whatever reason, they might not build a rapport, or there's a language barrier, cultural differences, they might change their mind because it takes up too much time. We're actually proactive too, because we have complaints that aren't reported, things that happen that we see online, and I'm looking for the police report. There is none. So this was a case that was circulated online, and it went viral. It was just a guy in the subway. He's on the train. An individual was yelling, screaming, cursing at him. Eventually, he assaulted him. Okay, he was with his girlfriend, and this particular video circulated everywhere. I'm sure you guys seen it. Since it happened on March 20th, and this individual never made a report. Okay, it came to my attention through friends and family. Like, look at this. What is being done about this? Questioning me. Like, so I looked into it. There was no report done. We were able to track the guy down through social media, and Hate Crime Task Force went out there to try to speak to him. He wouldn't speak to Hate Crime Task Force. They tried calling. They did everything they can. They did a great job, but he was unresponsive to Hate Crime Task Force. So Danny was the investigator I sent out, and he did a great job. He was able to break through the barrier and interview the victim, and we got an arrest from him.
We went to a house. At the beginning, the landlord, who is the relative of the victim, that refused to let us speak to the victim. So I told him, just give me one chance. Let me speak to her. If he refused, then we just leave. So the victim and the girlfriend came out. We pretty much told them there's no coincidence 2 Asian detectives come knock on the door. That showed the city cares and this department cares. So after we were able to convince them, next day we went back, we did a double-blind photo array, passed on to the case detective, and then they were able to make an arrest out of it. And then during the course, that communication through the district attorney's office and the Hate Crime Task Force detective, I was able to link them up as well, and the case went through and was fully prosecuted.